Okay, I'll spare you the details of how we got to this point. Suffice to say, I built the keyboard without any stabilizers, and now I'm adding stabilizers. It turns out that you're supposed to do the stabilizers before the switches are in place, because the linkage bar actually goes under the plate. And I didn't know that, so it's too late. And I really don't want to unsolder anything, so I'm just going to put the stabilizers on from below. So here's how it's going to work. I happen to have a spare plate. Each stabilizer comes in two parts, the outer part and the inner part. So to align them, you're going to want to take the outer part and take this side with the hook. I'm facing that on the right. And then the inner part, you want to find the side that has a square opening, a square hole in the middle and then another hole in the top. The other side is just a big rectangular opening. So take the side with the square hole and face that to the same side as the hook, and that's going to go inside there. So the side with the square hole into this side of the outer part. And of course, it's upside down. This is right side up. This is upside down because we're working upside down. So the way the bar goes in here is that you go in to that part of the outer edge and then into the hole of the inner part. And once it's in, then it snaps into the clip. Now the important thing about the inner part taking the side with the square hole is that the bar doesn't go in very well if you're holding it perpendicular. It goes in easier at an angle. And so that's important when we're working from below the plate. You're trying to push it in at an angle and not just straight on. So the idea is the linkage bar is there, and then the stabilizer, we're going to come up from underneath and put it in, and then once it's in, this will snap into place there. And so we will have the stabilizer in from below. However, it's much easier said than done. The first thing I'm going to do is thread the linkage bar underneath all of my wires so that it's resting on the plate. Okay. And take my stabilizer so the bar is going to go in through the outer part. And once it reaches the inner part, I want it to go at an angle because it's too difficult to go in perpendicular. So I'm going to let the inner part fall just by gravity. And I'm going to keep pushing, and it's ready to click in. I'm not going to click it all the way in though, just because I don't want to make it hard to get the second one on. So second one. Come up from underneath. The second one is a little bit harder because the linkage bar is pointing really at a shallow angle. But once I can see that it's reaching the inner part, I let it drop, and I hope that it's going to line itself up. Okay, finally. And they're both snapped into place. And now, at the expense of my dignity, but without having to unsolder anything, I have a stabilized key.